For a month, Iran's been under sustained attack.
We're going to destroy their missiles.
America and Israel say Operation Epic Fury is targeting the infrastructure of the Iranian state. But with many targets embedded among normal homes and businesses, civilians are under attack. Iran's government wants to show resolve and defiance as it cracks down on reporting and imposes an internet blackout. But BBC Eye has obtained exclusive footage from inside Tehran to see the terrible toll this war is having on civilians. We've also examined social media footage and analysed satellite imagery to establish exactly what was hit and why. Our investigation starts in Resalat, a residential neighbourhood in the eastern part of the capital. This is the scene days after the attack. What stood here is now gone. Dozens of families lived in this building. Some still waiting for news of their loved ones, trapped beneath the rubble. When we filmed, rescue efforts had been going on for 3 days. For many, it was already too late. In January, this neighbourhood was the scene of large protests against the government. Like elsewhere in Iran, the protests in Resalat were brutally crushed. The notorious Basij militia, part of the Revolutionary Guard, were blamed for killing thousands. Across the country, at least 7,000 protesters were killed, including more than 200 children. On March 9th, at around 2:30, this neighbourhood was struck by Israeli forces. On WhatsApp, the IDF press office told us they were targeting a military compound of the Iranian Basij. We confirmed this building was indeed used by the Basij, but that day, 3 other buildings were also struck in quick succession. On satellite imagery taken a few days after the strike, we clearly see that all 4 have been obliterated. Our team told us these 3 buildings were residential. So did the Iranian Red Crescent.
این منطقه کلاً مسکونی بوده و هیچ تأسیسات نظامی یا پادگان نظامی اینجا نبوده که هدف قرار گرفته، به کلی ویران شده.
Rescuers worked through the night to try and find survivors. Local authorities and residents said at least 40 people were killed.
متاسفانه حداقل حدود 30 واحد مسکونی اینجا الان آسیب دیده. قطعاً به نظرم میتونست نقطه زنی کنه، ولی الان ما شاهدیم که چند بلوک مسکونی رو همزمان مورد اصابت قرار داده.
We've gathered as much available visual evidence as possible from the scene while our team visited the site. Our analysis shows that apartments as far as 65 meters away were heavily damaged. We found people trying to salvage whatever they could from the wreckage. Ali, not his real name, lived in a building within the blast zone. He'd just stepped out when the first strike hit.
دوباره بلند شدم دیگه نفهمیدم که آوار ریخت سرم، خاکوینو ریخت سرم. دیگه اومدم من بیرون آوردم، دستمو، کمرمو، پامو، گوشم، همه اینو خونم. اصلا این چی ندارم، این شلوار رو همه چی، نه یخچال هم سالمه، نه بخاریم، نه گاز داریم، نه آب داریم، همه رو هم قطع کردن. وضعیت زندگی معلومه دیگه. نمیدونم کی سالمه کی نه، فقط میدونم دوستام چند تا سر کوچه بودن همه فوت کردن دارن درشون میارن. 2 خانواده هست. چند تا خانواده هنوز دارم درشون میارن امداد. هلال احمر اومده آمبولانس. فوت کردن تو خونه بودن.
So why was the damage so extensive? Military experts told us this type of bomb is being deployed in Tehran by the Israeli Air Force. The Mark 80 series are carried by jets and are often fitted with precision guidance systems. The damage in this case appears to be consistent with the largest bomb, weighing 2,000 pounds. Some unexploded ones have been photographed in Tehran. The bombardment here has been intense. In the silence imposed by the government's internet blackout, these images are rare, but they are vital to understand what's unfolding on the ground. The IDF says it's deployed 3,600 munitions on the city since February 28th, hitting a huge range of targets including police stations, checkpoints and besiege bases. Many targets are embedded in densely populated areas across the city. We've gathered available data on these targets. It shows that at least 38 police stations and besieged sites were hit in between February 28th and March 19th. One of these strikes was just a few kilometers from Risalat, in Nilafar Square, the scene of another deadly attack. On the 1st of March, an Israeli strike hit the Abbasabad police station here. It was around 9 in the evening, a time of gathering after families had broken their Ramadan fast. Instead, there was chaos.
یهو آسمون تاریک شد. یه صدای فوق‌العاده وحشتناک، یه نور وحشتناک و دیگه هیچی نفهمیدم. فقط یکی از بچه‌های مغازه‌مو اینجوری گرفتم، دویدیم سمت خیابون، چند نفر اینجا افتادن مردن، ترکش خورد بهشون. یه ماشین اون وسط افتاد. یه زن و شوهر اینجا وایسادن رفتن تو مغازه خرید کردن. به محض اینکه برگشتن بیرون همون لحظه زد آقا همونجا تموم کرد. اومدیم شاید 2 دقیقه نشد رسیدیم این وسط دوباره زد. دوباره سنگ و شیشه و خیلی خدا رحم کرد.
On a satellite picture of the area taken after the strike, we've been able to map out the extent of the damage to the surrounding area. Like the previous case, the blast zone was far wider than the target.
چی بجه آدم اینا همه همسایه‌ان، نه مثلا نه نظامی بودن نه چی بودن، اینا همشون کاسب بودن. نونوا داشت بدبخت نونشو میپخت. اون یه خونه یه پیرزنه بود که شهید شد. این اتفاق اینجا افتاد.
We don't know how many civilians died at this site, but eyewitnesses told us it was around 20. We were told many families were made homeless. Human rights groups say more than 1,400 civilians have been killed so far. The US and Israel say by targeting police and besiege installations, they're preparing the ground for the Iranian people to overthrow the government.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand.
But people in Iran are facing 2 threats, one from the air and another on the ground. It seems the regime is just tightening its grip and has not been shaken.
اینجا دیگه اگر کسی به خواست دشمن بیاد اون رو ما معترض و غیره نمیبینیم، اون رو ما دشمن میبینیم. برخورد میکنیم که با دشمن میکنیم. همه بچه‌های ما دست به ماشه آمادن در حراست از انقلابشون، در حمایت از مردمشون و میهنشون.
Iranian state media has been broadcasting images like these, too graphic for us to show you.
برای کسانی که دلخوش به کمک دشمن آمریکایی صهیونی بودند اما
In this report from Risalat Square, the reporter describes the scene as what America's support for Iran looks like. There's no mention of the nearby besieged building that was targeted. Instead, they focused solely on the residential buildings that were hit.
و هلاک شدن کودکان معصوم.
We spoke to 2 international humanitarian law experts about the incidents we've examined. They told us Israel and the US have a legal obligation not to use disproportionate force when targeting areas where civilians are present. Under international humanitarian law, they must also distinguish between civilian and military targets. Not doing so could be unlawful. We asked the IDF about these incidents. They confirmed the strikes but made no further comment. The US Department of Defense did not respond.